Greetings, beloved. I had a dream on August 18, 2017. In this dream, I saw that I was in a place where there was a very large room. There were many luxurious tables and chairs. A meeting was being held there, and each guest that came there were given 3 books. And when they started to browse and see these books, they were all amazed to see them. I could see it that way. At that moment, my companion told me to take a good look at what was in the books. So I got closer to the books and I started looking at them. And I saw that each book had a woman. She was the same in different ways in the different books. But there was this woman in a sensual and provocative aspect. So I immediately closed the books and observed what the authors said and did about these books, which they had been given. So I saw how everyone laughed and were happy. They expressed their happiness for the achievement of that impure woman who appeared in these books. So I began to see the faces of those people better. I got closer to see them, and I noticed that I knew them. When I always get close and see people like that, I know it is very shocking to me. So at that moment when I saw them, my impact was very great because I could see that they were leaders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church and also leaders of the local churches. So they were there eating. They were enjoying themselves. They were enjoying the achievements of this woman who appeared in these 3 magazines. So meanwhile, for them, everything was happiness. My eyes focused on a water dam that was higher than the place where they were. So this dam had water. This water was extremely dirty. It had a lot of garbage, and I saw when suddenly the dam broke, and all that water fell on them and dragged them mercilessly. So, in my desperation to want to help them, I don't know how, suddenly I had a rope in my hands, and the rope was thick and strong. So I threw it into the water and yelled at them to hold on, so they could live. Then some began to grab, but when they were close to me on the shore, I saw that they were looking at my face and that they recognized me, and they let go of the rope contemptuously. Then the current dragged them and began to carry them away. So it happened with one after one, with the other. And then in my despair, I no longer knew what to do, but I kept yelling at them to please grab the rope. But then one of those who was in the water grabbed the rope, and when he got close to me, he looked at me. He recognized me, but I saw that he was a layman. Then he had a fright on his face. Then I helped him. He came out of the water, but the others did not want to pay attention. Then I began to cry. I began to cry when I saw them disappear into those waters. And I couldn't do more for them. I was so desperate that at that moment the scene changed for me. Then I saw several groups of people gathered, but they had no leader. So they were very anguished because they did not have a leader. But with all that, they were reading the Bible. They were also reading the Spirit of Prophecy. I could see there the little red books that they had, and they began to sing hymns of praise to God. And they sang and sang. But outside of those groups, I could see that there was a great storm. The wind was whipping with great fury and destroying everything that was in its path. They were scared, the ones in these groups, but they kept singing and praying even more. So my companion told me, observe. And whenever I'm told to observe, it is as if the place where the event is happening is brought closer to me. Then I saw how the members of each group began to shine, but always one of those who was in the group stood out more in brightness. Then my companion exclaimed, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." Then the group started to feel safe and they started to be happy. I could see that they were happy. They looked contented. I could see it on their faces. Then my companion told me, "Listen, God takes control of his true children. Do not fear. He knows what he is doing." I was then, at that moment, the past sadness had already passed in me, and I was already joyful. I no longer feared the destruction of that strong wind that I saw was raging. Then the panorama changed. Everything was happiness. Everything was peace at that time. So at that moment, so peaceful and happy, there I woke up. And then when I was awake, they told me, share Isaiah 40, chapter 42. So I leave this, beloved, of assignment. I too, for me, it was my assignment. I have enjoyed in the Lord and knowing that despite difficult situations, the Lord always shows us his mercy and his peace. May the Lord bless you all.